Hey, welcome back. It's time for game 2 of Zynga versus Epic. Epic, so far, undefeated in the league, undefeated in this matchup. It's 1-0, J-Dub taking the first game, and both players playing pretty well. J-Dub playing a huge macro game.
Very solid Zerg macro game.
Many drones were made. Yeah.
And Sekigi going with air toss, and unfortunately he just needed a little bit more time, I felt, to get that air toss army up, but J-Dub didn't give him that time. A lot of really good two-pronged attacks and drops everywhere. Yeah.
So now we'll go into a TVZ. Let's do it. Here we have at the bottom right for Zynga.
Zynga, I make Marine.
I don't know what his plan is, but I have an idea. And the red Zerg for Epic.
Epic Destro. So this is Epic Destro's first match of the league, huh?
It's his debut.
It's his debut.
He is a high diamond player that is not usually in the Epic lineup. Epic's lineup full of masters, just absolutely riddled with them. Masters and grandmasters, indeed. And he made his way up through the rankings this week in their internal tournaments. Got to his starting position, so he's here ready to prove himself. I make Marine 0-2, I think, in the league so far.
Maybe.
So he's not doing super hot. He's a good player.
He is.
I mean, obviously, he's here. He
makes
well.
Marines.
How can you be bad when you make Marines?
Marines are awesome. They shoot things.
They do. They shoot things high and low, slow and fast.
As opposed to Zealots.
Large and small.
Who like chop things up.
Exactly. So we'll see I make Marine with a pretty quick scout and a barracks at the normal time. We're Zerg going to 14, and we should see a pool or a hatch shortly here.
Probably a hatch.
Probably a hatch.
Yeah,
take bets.
Judging.
Just 15 hatch. Looks about right.
Looks about right.
Boom. There it is.
Right there. 2 minutes, 10 seconds.
Just as the scout for I make Marine goes by, and he doesn't see any of that, but he'll go in and see there's no pool and probably come back for a scout.
I make Marines probably like trying to figure out if it's a 6 pool, and it's probably pretty glad that it's not a 6 pool because 6 pools suck.
It's not that fun. Makes for a crappy match.
It makes people panic.
Yeah. We had some cheesy play last week.
Oh yeah.
Tell you what. I don't know if you went back and watched Paddock and my cast of that one, but we had our first ace match, but it was like so short. 4 minutes of ace match.
Yep.
So we'll see Destro get some quick gas there.
Yeah.
And what's I make Marine's plan? Expansion.
Right there.
Yeah, one rack's expanded, not even inside the base. He is opting for, after the first Marine, get that base. Yeah, no bunker yet.
Being a Terran player, is this a good idea?
This is a sort of dangerous idea.
Well, but after scouting a hatch first, though. So,
I think that I make Marine can do it.
Okay.
I think that I would have trouble, because it's not really my style that way.
Okay.
But I believe in I make Marine. He is putting down the bunker. He did get gas first, so we might see a Reaper out of here to go get some more scouting info, maybe harass a little bit. TVZ has become riddled with Reapers of late, and this map, not bad for them, since you can get up in this big area over here, and then you can also jump up into the main there.
So in the GSL games that I've watched, I see the Terran building that bunker pretty close to his natural command center, right?
Instead of over in here?
Yeah, instead of building it up there.
Right.
What do you think of that placement versus like a placement like this?
Right? I think on this map, the way this ramp is and the way the minerals are recessed back here, it's hard to do the bunker in this area. You get less coverage. Some maps, the minerals start more like here. And then it's great because you can nestle it right next to your minerals, and if the Zerglings come in the minerals, the bunker is close. If they try to run up your ramp, they have to run past the bunker for a good distance. He's getting 2 out here, and I think that's a pretty good move, considering since you can get surrounded really easily out at the top. And that's the main concern of most people who try to bunker further back towards the minerals, is that you can get surrounded so easily out in front that you need to quick cover that surface area with more buildings. So we'll see he's doing that. And Destro going with 6, 7 roaches. Will we see 8 roaches?
Is this a timing attack?
Is this like the J-Dong 8 roach 2 base?
I think that's what we're seeing.
It's about right. I've seen
and he
several
even stopped.
of the...
He's like, this is a roach all-in play right here.
No, so if you go 8 roaches after 2 base, it's not really all-in. It usually does damage, but even if it doesn't, you can sack the roaches to get more scouting info, push up a ramp, take out a depot or something, because they have so many hit points that they can pretty much always do that.
It's just that Destro is cutting. See, he's cutting drones and he's going for lings.
Oh,
and
more lings. This may well be all in.
Right. He even stopped gas, mining gas. So this looks really all in-ish.
So it didn't have to be all in, but it's looking all in now.
But Destro is opting for an all in play.
Yeah, and we'll see. He does have the 7 roaches, 18 lings on the field already, more in production, and
Destro needs to do a lot of damage here because if I make Marine's
wall,
oh no,
the Ling's getting us around on the first bunker.
Great response from the SCVs.
Targeting it down. No. Okay, the Lings are just kind of taking damage while the roaches run around, and he'll wreak havoc on this base.
Yeah, and Destro just moving right in. Nothing to stop him.
He'll be able to deny every bit of this mining time. There are only 7 Marines. If he just stays back... Oh, and he's electing to snipe workers here.
Right. Oh, the siege
tank on the high ground is definitely going to stop this.
Cool. So, wow, I make Marine held this pretty well. Oh, the
Zerglings are still streaming in, and they get a surround on the Marines.
The Marines get them in there.
Oh, they barely make it in the bunker. 5, 6, 7 Marines. Oh, no, I think it's just 6, and these are SCVs. Yep.
Yeah, I make Marine needs to choke up that little...
Poor Zerglings.
Zerglings
nowhere
flying
to go,
all over the place. And
he's making a mess.
Putting a supply depot there, blocking this wall nicely here.
Wow, Destro just really wants to do damage. He doesn't want to play the rest of this game. He made more Zerglings. I think he realizes that these aren't going to do anything at this point.
Quick SCV count loss. Just 5 SCVs going down for... I make Marine. So
yeah, we'll see the Terran ahead.
Right. Terran
Same number of bases and more workers.
More
That's
workers
really bad
plus
for
mules. Yeah.
And no Baneling nest, so no way to get through this.
Destro didn't do quite enough damage. That was a great attack though, and
it was a good timing and everything.
Yeah.
I think he shouldn't have tried to go for these bunkers.
I think
they're too solid when there's 2 of them right there, and the SCVs were that close. I actually thought he was in a great position with the roaches out here, and then he moved in and attacked again. And a lot of times, when the Kespa Zergs are doing this push, what they'll do is maneuver themselves over here, and they'll just deny mining for a full minute.
Right, and just
because
hang out
then
there.
The player is hesitant to unsiege their tank.
Right.
They have to kind of move their way slowly down the ramp, be really careful. It takes a lot of SCV micro to save them or repair the tank, things like that.
Right. And but I feel like Destro was just was kind of like he felt pressured because the siege tank was coming out. Right. So that was going to take care of the roaches. So he felt like he needed to do some damage quickly before his roaches died. But yeah, you're right. It might have been better if he... Oh, did he lose some lings from that?
No, not quite.
Okay.
I did see someone lose lings the other day when they got squished right in there. Yeah. And these lings will be trapped until they break out.
Yeah, that's okay. Destro is pretty turly right now.
Yeah. I think it's one of those things that's so hard, and it's one of those distinctions between a good player and a great player, is being able to say, I can't do any more damage with this in a certain area, and I'm going to have to go elsewhere. I have to abandon my plan and still come up with a good idea of what to follow.
Right. So
anyone can abandon their plan, but finding something smart to do after that is very tough.
We're going back into a regular macro game here, so we'll see what happens. Destro is probably going to try to go for some of the newer units, like maybe the Swarm Host, try to siege the Terran in a little bit.
Yeah, and it looks like pretty hard bio from the Terran. He does have a couple of Hellions. Those could be Hellbats. He's making 2 medevacs at a time. This is on the patch where you can only contain 2 of them in each medevac, so he'd have to either take them as 4... He'd either have to take the 4 of them in 1 medevac and transform later, or transform and then put in both medevacs to get all 4 across the map.
He fired at Supply Depot.
Yeah. Just an accidental 1A right there.
Wow, roasted lings look so good right now. This new animation.
And stopping to fire, not the best idea. Whoa. Losing 1 Hellion, 2 almost dead. Oh, and he does stop to take the shot. Loses another Hellion.
Yeah, but that's okay. He's trading pretty well here. I mean, Destro's losing a lot of lings just to take out 2 Hellions. So it's a pretty good trade. I'll take that trade.
And I make Marine taking out his rocks while we see Glands going down for Destro. Once you get those Infestors out, starting upgrades. We see some upgrades out of here. Yep. So melee. Ling Infestor is what it looks like to me.
Yeah.
That's a good overseer right there.
Yeah.
And I make Marine has the 3rd command center built, just not moving it down yet.
Or making it into command center, or
an orbital.
An orbital command.
Yep.
So
I think he's just focusing on other things at the moment. Sometimes you make that base, you kind of forget it's there. He did all his planning, he took down the rocks, so we know he wants to take it. He has to clean out the Zergling and probably knock down the Browder rocks first.
Right. Supplies are really even for both players, which is bad for Zerg. Zerg wants to be up by about like 20 or 30 supplies.
Oh, all bio, boosting in the medevacs, hitting the natural.
Great drop here.
Will he get the queen? No, he doesn't get the queen. Microing back in the mineral line, loading up the hurt units, and will he boost up to the main?
Oh, great
Clutch Fungal gets the full medevac.
Wow.
Twice.
That is really unfortunate.
And it's going to boost away. Oh, man. This medevac only has 1 hurt Marauder in it. Not really even worth dropping with that many lings in the vicinity. Will he fungal
his boost
again?
Is on cooldown. No, it's just going to zip right by. Great drop there by I Make Marine. He was making a ton of Marines, up by about 20 supply right now.
Overseer finally dies.
I Make Marine is in a great spot, I feel, being up in supply.
He's doing really well. That initial attack by Destro just pretty unsuccessful. The Ling is still there.
Isn't that annoying?
Medevac boosts home. Needs to get home in time for dinner.
It's like a 500-ton command center can't crush a Marine or Zergling.
The one Zergling.
I know, right?
This is what blocks the city from being built. It's like the Zergling is protesting urban development over here. He wants it to stay countryside, he knows and loves. It's ruining the Zerg ecosystem, man. The ecology is just destroyed.
Can't have that happen. You just can't.
Meanwhile, Destro taking another base.
Yep.
And
researching upgrades like a boss.
Yeah, he's got quite a few lings here. That's 3 pages of lings.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you get to 3rd page, is quite a few.
Yeah, well, half of them are going to get turned into banelings anyway, so that's going to be
quite a few.
Classic wall-style baneling Infestor play. Although Infestors are nerfed in Heart of Swarm, so they aren't as
it's a lot harder to land those fungals, man.
Yeah.
So there's the Hive. Hive has been built.
And here we go, Ultra Cavern. That's what we need. Ultralisks are so good.
Just as Terran decides to push. Okay, so this could be a tough timing to deal with. This will come down to, lots of banelings. So many banelings. If Destro can land these fungals,
the creep spread is non-existent, so I Make Marine is able to cover so much ground.
He does have baneling roll, so he sees what's coming, starts splitting up his army. Oh, this is all going to come down to how well I Make Marine can micro against this, but there are so many banelings in this group here, pushing through the Marauders, the Hellbats, the Marines, more Marauders, and the Lings are definitely going to clean that up if they decide to fight. Yes, they do.
Where are the siege tanks? I Make Marines needed those siege tanks to take care of those banelings, but they just weren't there.
Oh, he decides not to kill the Infestor. Luckiest Infestor in the game.
So
58 lings in production, by the way.
Look at that. But still, Zerg losing way more resources than Terran. I Make Marine is still in this.
I Make Marine, you're killing your depots again, man. This is not the... Don't make this kind of Marine. Those are bad ones. You got the discount Marines, dude.
Siege tanks, you don't even need to research the siege mode anymore for them to...
Right, they just come out with it.
Right, so... I don't know. I feel like just a lot of tanks in that composition would have made things a lot better.
Maybe so, but he had flipped the tank. Once he made the first tank, he flipped it to a reactor. So he didn't even have a Tech Lab attachment on this factory for the longest time. He wanted to get those Hellions and Hellbats out, using his gas for other things. But it definitely would have helped with that push since, Destro's tech decision was banelings and mostly banelings.
Right.
Which is pretty awesome.
Baneling Infestor does a really good job with bio.
We should note that he's also at 2-2 upgrades, whereas I Make Marine is only at 2-0. He doesn't have any armor on his units. Not that that would help against banelings, but...
But here comes the Ultralisks.
In general, against, Ultras and Lings, it would help some. So this bio ball cannot really take this if there are any good fungals in these infestors.
I Make Marine is moving out. He sees the whole army. Does he want to commit? I don't know.
Adrenal gland still 40 seconds off. There's so many medevacs, dude.
Wow.
And Destro looks like he wants this engagement. Wants to make it happen. A couple Marines going up trying to snipe infestors. Banelings moving in. Infestors landing some good fungals. Ultras pushing through these units.
Rolling through everything, and Ultras cleaning up right after.
And there's just too much for the Zerg.
Yeah.
Medevacs running with their tails between their legs.
Again,
more Lings reinforcing.
No siege tanks. It's really hurting I Make Marine here.
It's definitely not helping. They could be doing some good damage. I Make Marine pulling back successfully here, but look at all these Lings. He can just morph more Banelings with that 1,000 gas and roll through the base, I feel.
Destro,
that could totally be successful.
Destro definitely making the good choice of just making more Banelings here and going with his Baneling Infestor. Instead of switching to air, he's just going to keep with this because it's been working. And so why change something that works, right? So
5 Infestors.
Yep.
That's a lot to build at once, man.
So
tanks finally deciding to be built here.
Right.
I Make Marine.
I think I Make Marine is realizing, just pure bio with Hellbats. It's not really working out.
It's not
Need some tanks. So here we go. But that's pretty cool. I Make Marine's up 1 armor now, which is going to help out a lot. And +3 weapons is going to finish. Oh wow, that's great.
Lots of vision for Destro.
Destro sees absolutely everything, even though his creep spread is not. I mean, he doesn't get a lot of vision from creep spread at all. But getting a watchtower is that works
these are the first creep tumors.
Yeah,
this is the first 3 creep tumors. 22 minutes, you guys.
Nice.
Oh, on that Hellbat drop. 1 Spore Crawler in a great spot here to chase off the medevacs. 1 Queen will go down, but that looks like about it. Maybe a couple workers in that building Spine Crawler. But all the Terran units are about to die.
Oh.
Except for these ones on the high ground. They're fine. The second Spore Crawler did take out that medevac. Meanwhile, I Make Marine dropping in another position, gets the tech, and loads up, losing 1 Marine. So pretty successful, but there's already 7 Ultralisks building for Destro, and he already has several on the field. So we're looking at 6 plus 7, which is 13 for the math impaired. But I mean, you don't need more than 13 Ultras. I'm pretty sure. 2 maxed out armies about to go at it in the middle.
What's better than 7 Ultras? 13 Ultras.
Actually, sometimes it's not. Stunningly enough.
Wow.
And we'll see, again, no tanks
So, again,
here.
without siege tanks, this is going to be rough.
1 tank.
I mean, the 30 Banelings is just going to roll over this bio army. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, but I Make Marine deciding it's time. Splits up his army, but some of it's fungled already. And just the massive swarm of Zerg units pushing in and crushing this, despite the good split.
Yeah.
Fungals on the medevacs. A couple of infested Terrans are going to knock those down. Even the one with a Hellbat and a Marine in it. Look at how big that is.
Yeah.
The wireframe is just huge. 1 medevac boosts away for his life.
Man, Destro is out of money, building 52 Lings. Man, he's been on top of his injects this game.
Yeah, and it's just looking really dire. This is so interesting about Destro is, I won this engagement, Zerglings! Just hold down the Z key. Z is for victory, you guys. Happiness can be bought, and it's bought with a Z key.
With a lot of Z keys.
Sometimes with an E key after that. Destro continuing to have amazing vision and taking this high ground position. I Make Marine walling for his life, building some starports, maybe about to transition to some Banshees or something to, try to bait out Fungals, bait out infested Terrans, get rid of that energy, and maybe get some kills off on these Ultras. But I feel like it's too little too late at this point.
I like what Destro is doing. He knows that even though he knows that he's ahead, he's not going to throw away his army. He's going to wait for that bank, and wait for a little bit more economy before, and probably more larva before engaging again, just in case the engagement doesn't go his way.
And the one Vision Zergling is going to kill himself a command center.
And formulas.
Oh, but it's time. Banelings rolling in, hitting the tanks, hitting the bio,
taking out
and these
Banelings.
Ultras just rampaging through everything that I Make Marine has.
Oh, Wow. That that was awesome. That is a great Zerg push right there.
This looks like something from the campaign at this point.
Right.
Infestor is throwing down fungals on the SCVs, getting tons of mules. Oh, and there they go. I Make Marine losing a hard-fought game to Destro, and that'll put Epic up 2-0.
Yeah. Great game there by Destro. It's debut game, winning it.
Yeah, congrats Destro. 1-0. Perfect record, just like his team.
100% win rate so far.
Yeah.
Yep.
We shall see. So, we will be back with Game 3 in just a minute. See you then.
Cool.